Hi class, welcome to physiology. My name is Dr. Miranda Adelman Mitchum, and I'm going to be your instructor this semester. So we are following the asynchronous format for our course. And what that means is that we don't meet. We have no class meeting times. The only meeting time we have is office hours, and office hours are not a requirement. So this format enables you to complete the class, hopefully successfully, on your own time frame. I will be releasing materials to you a week at a time as we go through the semester. So let me give you a little bit of an introduction to the class itself, the various type of assignments, the breakdown of the grades and due dates and things like that. Just a second, I am going to share my Firefox screen with you, or my Canvas screen, so I can point you around the our course website. So let's get that share going. Sorry, takes a minute. Okay, here we are. So this is your course, and I have it set in student view. So it should look very similar to how it appears when you log in to Canvas. So first of all, let's just orient ourselves to what's happening. And you probably noticed that the little video bubble that usually shows, it's not showing up this semester with our updated Zoom software. So sorry about that. I'll try to get that fixed. So at the very first at the top part of the Canvas page will be the top most recent 3 announcements. So that's handy. And you will be receiving weekly announcements with all of the due dates and things for your various assignments. So that's a place where you can see the most recent 3. If you want to look at all of them, you click over here on the left tab on the announcements tab, and it will take you to all of them. Over on the right side of your Canvas homepage for our course, you have a to-do list. So this includes the various assignments as well as reading of announcements. So as you complete those activities, it should drop off of your to-do list. So that's really handy. Now, if you're taking more than one class at MiraCosta College, you'll see that your to-do list will include the items for all of your classes. So that's nice as well. Okay, moving to the content. So in our very top module here is important information. And this is where you'll find the course syllabus, which we will review, the weekly schedule, which we're going to review. Here you've got a link to the textbook. You've got a number of options for your textbook, just as long as you have something really is what I'm looking for. But in this tab, it takes you to the instructions if you want to purchase the online version of the textbook, which is really nice. I don't assign materials directly out of the textbook, online version of the textbook, but we will be utilizing it, especially in lab. So it's you don't have to have the Mastering AMP, the online version. If you have a hardback or the Lucy version, that works as well too. But if you wanted to get the online version, here's the instructions on how to do that. So you basically go to the publisher's website and then put in the course instructor ID and then create a user account for it. One thing to keep in mind though with electronic textbooks is that often the license is short term. So if this is something that's important to you to have as a reference book, you probably want to get either the loose leaf or the hard copy form. Okay. We've got, here's my contact information. Office hours are going to be on Thursdays from 4 to 5 p.m. on Zoom. So you've got the login information as well as a link that will take you there. Now, if you're not able to attend during scheduled office hours because of a work conflict or something like that, please just send me an email and we'll arrange something else. That's no problem. I've also put up a periodic table of elements, which we will jump right into using pretty quickly in the semester. So let's take a look at your week 1 content. Now I've got to add in your lab information. That's not in here yet, but you've got your materials for the first week. So each week you'll see a module created that has the content for everything you need. So this is where you go to get your PowerPoint slides. If we have a quiz that week, the link will be here. If there's a homework assignment, you'll find the link here. The discussion board posts are here, all organized by week. So chapter 1 is really an introduction to the topic of physiology, as well as a review of the some of the prerequisite material. So you've got your slides, and I provide them to you in PowerPoint and PDF format. These lecture objectives are a good thing to, a good study tool to prepare. I'm not going to follow it through. Actually, I'll have to stop and restart the share on Zoom to do that. But these are tricky, but they're intended to help prepare you for your exams. And they are thought-provoking, and they do take some time to go over. But many students have told me that they were very helpful to them in helping them to get ready for each of the exams throughout the course of the semester. Also on this page in each module, you'll find the links to the lecture videos. I'm going to provide them to you as a Zoom link, as well as a downloadable format in a MP4 format. And you can, it's the same video, but this way you can choose which format you prefer. Some students with older computers have trouble accessing the Zoom link. There's ways that I can work you around it. So if that's happening to you, send me an email. It's actually not too difficult, but I can work you around that. But here's the MP4 version. They both show the closed captioning a little bit differently. So I'm thinking one format might be preferable to another. And who knows, I might actually end up converting it over to another format as we move through the semester. You will notice that many of the recordings that are used for the lecture videos were actually recorded last semester with the intention of using them this semester too. It's been a lot of work to move online, but you'll benefit from the fact that I've done this for 1.5 semesters already now. Okay, going back. So this is where you'll find a lot of the materials that you'll need to study and go through. So I'll put a link to the lecture video here as well. I think just to make it simpler. Right now you've got a PDF of the you will have a PDF of the first 3 chapters that we go through in the textbook. And this just gives you some time to get your textbook if you haven't gotten that yet. So you'll see a PDF there in the respective chapter or module rather. And then we've got our discussion board post. Now, normally our discussion board post and our quizzes are not going to be due so soon. I'll go over dates in a minute, but these 2 are special assignments. We need to see, we meaning the college wants to see that students are active in class. And normally we would do that by taking attendance and doing class, in-class activities up until that census deadline, which is 2 weeks after the beginning of the semester. But in the online format, we do it differently by giving some assignments with very short due dates. So you have a required discussion board post as well as an entrance quiz that are due by 11:59 p.m. on Wednesday, January 27th. And these are required to show that you are active in the course, which is a requirement for enrollment. Students who do not complete these activities on time and don't contact me will be dropped from the roster so that that spot may be given to a waitlist student. I want to get as many students in the class that are committed to completing. So that's the purpose of the census date. So let's take a look at this discussion board post, and it's just an introduction. So I'm asking each student to please submit a reply. Here's the reply field where you provide your name, where you're from, why you're enrolled in this course, you know, what your academic and career goals are, and so forth. And then you've also got my response here, organized by those discussion points. So this is one of those required activities, the introductory discussion board. And then you have this entrance quiz. I'm not going to open it now because it will think I'm wanting to take it, but there we go. Oh, now you can actually, now you're able to see it. That doesn't matter. This quiz is not graded. It's purely for for me to assess the prerequisite knowledge in the class. I have found by administering this quiz that physiology students tend to benefit from a more thorough review of chemistry and biomolecules than I originally used to do when I first started teaching physio. So all of the physiology instructors at MiraCosta College actually give the same entrance quiz, and it's not included in your grade. So don't worry about it. It is hard. I'm not gonna mislead you there. It's challenging, but it gives you an idea of the prerequisite knowledge that you are expected to have coming into this class. Now, we will review some of this material, especially the chemistry, in the first 3 modules. So that will be helpful. But this is a requirement to demonstrate activity in the class as well. So hopefully you've got Canvas set up to where you get announcements when a new activity is posted. So if you don't get any emails from me via Canvas, or if you haven't, then you need to go in and please check your Canvas settings because something's not right there, because I've sent out a few announcements now. All right, so that's Canvas. I'm now going to pull up, oh, wait a minute, back up. There's my kitty cat. His name is Meatball because look how giant he is. He's 22 pounds. I didn't know that when I named him, but he's a big boy. Okay, let's get the class syllabus up. Well, actually, I pulled up the wrong file. Hold on, let me try that again. Here we go. So this is available for you on Canvas. I keep pulling the wrong file up. There we go. Sorry about that. What is going on? Okay, here we go. Now we've got the syllabus. And again, this is available to you on Canvas. I'm not going to go through everything here, so please do read through it, but I'm going to hit the main points. So I really want our classroom, we all want the classroom to be welcoming and kind and inclusive. So please, if you ever do not feel that way, feel free to reach out and let us know that. This is a place where we want to all be supportive so that we can best learn. So the best way to reach me is by email. Again, I'm happy to set up scheduled phone calls or Zoom sessions if you're not able to come to office hours, or to talk about private information like grades. Office hours is not the time to do that. So again, we are completely asynchronous. With the exception of the office hours, which are not required. Office hours are Thursdays from 4 to 5, and here's your link. It's also available in important information on Canvas. So how do you succeed in this class? What are your main resources? Well, I'm one of them. I mean, definitely use me as a resource. This is what I'm here for. But also, you know, you've got that scheduled format in office hours. you're welcome to email me anytime. I'll respond back as quickly as I can. But if you're having trouble with a homework assignment, then office hours is sometimes a good way to do that, because I can set it so that you share your screen to me through Zoom, and that way I can see what you're doing and better guide you. The STEM Center is available even in the online environment. So here's a link to it embedded right in your syllabus. And there's a number of resources available there, including tutoring. So there are physiology tutors available. And then of course, Canvas is something that hopefully you're checking 2-3 times a week, if not more often. So some of the important things to ensure that we have the best learning environment. We've talked about the format of our classroom. So let's talk about the time commitment. So the expectation is that we would have 6 hours of classroom time spent, right? We would have 3 hours of lecture per week, plus 6 hours of 3 hours of lab per week. So we'd have a scheduled 6 hours of total time in the classroom. But in order to be successful and simply to meet the other requirements of the class, there's additional time that students need to commit. So that's expected to be another 6 to 9 hours. And that will give you time to do your reading assignments, your homework, the discussion board posts, the lab exercises, as well as completing the requirements for submission. And then of course, your general studying. Now, even though we're in the online environment, we still do follow the same policies and procedures that are set forth in the standards of student conduct. So that means that we dress appropriately for class. We're not doing things in video in any of your classes on Zoom that are against school policy. So we still follow the same procedures. And sometimes it can be a little, I don't know. I found myself one time getting ready to teach a class, and I looked down and I realized I was still in my pajamas. So sometimes it can be a little tricky, but we do need to be professional. All right. A little bit on academic integrity, which, in kind of some of the more severe forms would include, like, cheating on an exam, but not that I expect that to be a problem in our class at all. What are some of the other examples of violations? Well, that could include using somebody else's work in a homework assignment, or discussing an exam question. You do have a window of time to take an exam, so it's feasible that somebody in the class could have taken the exam earlier. Well, guess what? No two students get the same exam either. So it's just not worth the time to do that, in addition to being ethically and morally wrong. Some other examples could include citing failure to cite a source in a written assignment, or citing it incorrectly. So we do have one written assignment, and I will give you instructions for how to reference and cite your sources. And I'll tell you now, as well as when we get to that assignment, most of the grade for that assignment is tied up in following instructions. Here is the link for the Academic Integrity Code. If you're curious about the written policies and procedures, you can find them there. Anybody who does have a verifiable disability, or even somebody who might be wondering if they would qualify for accommodations, should contact the Disabled Students Program and Services website. And you've got the link here in your syllabus. There are a number of really wonderful accommodations that are available to students, depending upon their needs, that make it so that it's a more equitable experience. So if you are unsure, if you fall into this situation and are wondering, again, I think really the best thing to do is contact their office and help. They are sometimes able to give accommodations without speaking to, like, your previous physician and things like that. So And I've seen a number of students really succeed with accommodations that really make the environment more equitable for everybody. I broke my arm when I was in college, and this was before the age of the computers. I mean, yes, we didn't even really have the internet until I was in grad school. But I had to get time and a half on my exams because I could not write with a broken hand. So that's an example of an accommodation. This next section of your syllabus goes through what are called performance objectives, and then there's also student course learning outcomes. And these are to be met at the end of the semester. So please don't worry about if these sound challenging to you now. They should be. This is what you will be learning throughout the course of the semester. So here's our student learning outcomes. We have 3 of them in this class. And we do have an assignment, the library research assignment, that will be utilized to assess this first student learning outcome, which is evaluating a physiological event that disrupts homeostasis. So that's the assignment I was just speaking about when we were talking about referencing and sourcing. Here's the textbook we're using. It is the Silverthorne Human Physiology 8th edition. And I recommend that you get the Mastering A&P package if you learn well that way. But if you're somebody who needs to have, you know, a hard copy, then you'll probably benefit from either the loose leaf, which you could write on, or the hard copy. So please feel free to get what works best for you. You do not need to get the version that is listed in the bookstore. Older editions are okay as well. The 7th edition and even the 6th edition are really, there haven't been many changes between them. That's often a way to find a cheaper textbook. So some of the other materials that are required, you'll need a calculator, a scientific calculator. You'll need to access your lab exercises. I try to provide them all in a format where you don't need to print anything, where you can just download it and modify it and put it back up. But quite honestly, some of it is easier if you have the right software. So you'll need Microsoft Office. But some of it's easier if you can download it and then modify it and take a picture and upload it back up. So you'll have different ways to submit your assignments. You've got a number of suggested reference texts, but this top one here, what you really need to know before anatomy, physiology, and microbiology. This is written by a colleague of mine who is at Palomar College. But it's a really wonderful reference for nursing students. And it was written specifically to provide nursing students with a study tool because at the time, she noticed that most of the materials were geared towards pre-med students and not nursing students. So, and if you're a nursing student, you have to take all 3 of these books anyway. So you can find it at many bookstores, but it's definitely at Palomar, and it's usually about $35. And then you've got a number of other resources here. Our important dates are, oh, this is actually supposed to be the 27th. I'll have to fix that in your documents. So the last day to add drop to where you receive a refund and nothing appears on your transcript is February 7th. The last day to file for a pass no pass option is the 27th of February. And last semester, the college did not implement this date. So this is a normal date at 30% completion of the semester when students are able, well, this is the last date where a student is able to switch from getting a letter grade to either getting pass, no pass. So keep that in mind. And then the last day to receive a W or an excused W is the 29th of April. Now I grade on a percentage scale. So basically 90 to 100% is an A, 80 to 90 is a B, so forth. But I do round up a little bit from, 0.5. Let's go through the types of assignments that you have. So you have a total of 4 exams. And this is a combination of lecture and lab. So 4 unit exams. And these have questions that are a combination of multiple choice, short answer, true, false, sometimes drawing or problem solving. The way that your exams and quizzes are going to be released is they are released at midnight on the appropriate Friday. And then you have that 24-hour period up until 11:59 p.m. on that Friday night to submit them. So if that time doesn't work for you because of a regular work schedule, just let me know. So you've got 4 exams. There is no cumulative exam in this class because the material builds cumulatively through the semester, as you will see. You do have a unit quiz the week prior to the exam, and this gives you a little tasting of what types of questions to expect on your exam. Because the way that I do my quizzes and exams is I draw my questions from exam banks. So a question could easily go on a quiz or an exam. It's not like I write different questions for exams versus quizzes. Let's see, your quizzes, you'll have an hour to complete them, but they'll be available for that 24-hour period. And you have 4 of those. Each of them are worth 25 points, where the exam is worth 80 points. There are 10 homework assignments, each worth 10 points. And these are going to be due on Fridays at 11:59 p.m. too. You've got discussion board posts, and there's 10, and they're 2 points each for a total of 20 points. And this is a way for us to engage, right? If we were meeting in the classroom, we could easily break out into groups, and I could give different groups maybe a different part of a project, and you'd work on it, and then we come back together and talk about it. So the discussion board is a way to engage still in this online environment. So sometimes I'm going to give you discussion prompts or questions that you'll answer. But at other times, you'll be doing that with each other, where you're asking and answering each other's questions. So each discussion board post will have its own instructions, and you'll see them come out in your weekly modules. You do need to write and complete sentences in discussion board posts, please. And they need to be actually content-driven, correct answers. So nothing like, hey, high five or good job. You won't get points for that. There are 14 graded lab exercises, each worth 10 points. And these, let me just get my wording correct here. You need to do all of them. And then you have the library research assignment, which is that written assignment that evaluates the student learning outcome that we spoke about earlier. I will provide you with very specific instructions for this. Once we get established in the course, it is going to be due on March 19th. Some tips from previous students: basically stay on top of your schedule and ask for help when you realize you need it. Or even if you don't need it, ask for help. Some of my best students are students that have A's that come to office hours and go through their homework with me. So please feel free to do that. Oh, sorry, I changed the sizing there. And then finally, the last section of your syllabus has a number of different campus resources with the direct links. You might want to visit this link down here because it takes you to the Student Support Hub, where there's even more links to available that benefit students at the college level. All right, so now what we're going to do is move to the schedule and talk about the weekly schedule for a moment. Let me make it a little bit bigger. It's probably hard to see. Okay, I know you can't see the whole thing. Let's get a little bit smaller. All right, there we go. That's better. Okay, so it is organized by week. So each row, each color block represents a different week and hence a different topic. Sometimes there is more than one chapter per topic. Sometimes it's just one. It depends. But follow as it says here. The weeks with this bold pink highlight, these are when you have your unit exams. So there is no new lecture content. And really, with the exception of the first exam, you don't even have a lab on the last two. So you've got that whole week really to focus on the exam. Now you will have a quiz due and homework due early in that week. So let's look at those due dates and the variety of exercises that you have again. So you've got homework, which is always due Fridays at midnight, 11:59 p.m. Your discussion board posts are due at the same time. Your quizzes are due at the same time, and so are your exams. So all of your assignments are going to have the due date of 11:59 p.m. on Friday, and they'll be released as a module. I will open modules the Friday before the week begins. And I'll do that at about noon. So I'll send out the weekly announcement. So this coming Friday at noon, you'll see the week 2 announcement, and then the week 2 materials will be available to you. So in this first week, we have the required discussion board post, which is the introductory one. And then we've got that entrance quiz, which is scored, but it is not computed into your grade. And then your lab exercises using the metric system, which I need to put up for you to get up today. Now, this is the only assignment that is not due on Fridays. Labs are due on the Monday following the week in which we complete them. And that's so that you have the time to go through them and get the best out of them. Some of them are they're all time consuming. Some of them are more time consuming than others. So I don't want it to be something that you're just rushing through to meet a deadline with. So you've got the benefit of that week, that extra weekend in there. Now, again, if you have a night shift where you work every Sunday night or something like that, or every Friday night, just let me know, communicate with me, and I'll figure out something to make it work to where it best suits you. Okay, so here's your first quiz will be on the Friday of the week of February 22nd. So that would be the 27th of February, and it's on Unit 1. So that includes all of the chapters that are in Unit 1. The way that I grade your homework is I try to keep on top of grading, as we go through the semester. But about a week before your exam is the date of your exam, I close out homework assignments so that I can post the answer keys. And that way you can look at the answer keys and have time to have some discussion with me before the exam if needed. So once the answer keys go up, then it's not possible to submit that assignment anymore. And so you wouldn't get any points for that assignment. So just keep in mind that hard late deadline, if you will, for the homework is going to be a week before the exams. Okay, let me show you another version, please, of the schedule here. Just a second. Let me get it. So this version is available to you also on Canvas. Sorry, I'm just pulling up a different file. I don't have it handy right now. What it is I'm going to give you a version of this schedule that doesn't have that has more blanks in it so that you have the ability to check off your assignments. So I'll just post that up when I get that ready. Okay, and then I've got one final thing I wanted to share with you. So let me find that. Here we go. This is the week 1 announcement that you received this morning. I don't know why it didn't send out when I published the course over the weekend. But the way that I set up your weekly announcements is it goes over everything that is coming up, including the due dates of the various assignments. And I do attach it as a PDF. And this allows you to download it or even print it if you want and use it as a checklist. So that way you can make sure that you've completed all of the activities as you go through each week. Now, in week 2, there will be an additional section at the top of the announcement that will have the reminders from week 1. So it will have the reminders of anything that's due that Friday. So I try to be very transparent and communicative with you on the assignments and when they're due, and I try my best to remind you. So these announcements come out Friday at noon when each week module is released to you with all of the weekly content. And then down at the bottom, we have the link for office hours, and please do drop in for office hours. All right, I guess that sums up everything I wanted to go through. I'm really excited about teaching you. I look forward to getting to know you over the course of the semester. And feel free to reach out, ask for help anytime, or if I can help you with anything. That's exactly what I'm here for. Take care. Bye-bye.